Okay, sir. Very good evening to all of you. So we are starting the very important topic, that is ITC. We all know one big question would be there, which has the various topics in it, mainly the ITC. ठीक है, तो start करें. So let me start the question. So total 7 question is there, which is being prepared by me based on the uh, multiple provisions. Now, after that, if time permit, then we will go to the institute material questions. Same request, like in earlier classes, you are participating, and in the same manner, please continue that participation. Very good evening to all. Purvi Limited, a registered supplier of various goods and services, provided the following information pertaining to the GST for the month of August. Purchase goods which are used, GST paid on inward supply for the month of August. Okay, they have given the transaction. Compute the amount of the net ITC available for the month of August with necessary explanation for the treatment of all items in the table as per the provision wherever applicable. All other condition has been satisfied. Now, what you will say, we would be able to take ITC or not? Purchase of the goods which are used for the activity relating to the obligation under corporate social responsibility, can we take the ITC of 3 lakh or not? Give me the reason. Compute the net ITC available with the necessary explanation. आप reason क्या देंगे? What reason would you give? What will be the reason? ITC not available. Chalo, agreed. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? Because it is CSR activities and ITC is not available as per section 17, subsection 5. Again, section लिखने की कोई additional आपको marks नहीं मिलेंगे. You may write, you may not write. It's your choice. I am just sharing or using so you can cross check and refer. Question not visible. Whether question is not visible. Now visible. Okay. ठीक है. चलो. ITC not available. So we can say ITC not available. ठीक है. अब आइए नेक्स्ट में. परचेज द रॉ मटेरियल वर्थ ₹590 इंक्लूडिंग GST. Okay, in the 5 lot. 3 lots of raw material worth ₹3 lakh excluding GST received in the current month, and remaining lot will be received in the September next month. Now, what ITC I will be eligible? 90,000 by 5 into 3. Can I say this? Can I say this? Can I take the full ITC? Can I have to? Can I take the proportionate ITC, or I cannot take any ITC? All has given the correct answer. So I will not be able to take any ITC because the ITC would be eligible only when I receive the last lot. Correct? Last lot. Third question. Company paid the outdoor catering expenses for the lunch of its factory employee during the lunch hours as per the company policy. There is no obligation to provide such lunch facility to its employee. Give me the answer. Support the reason. आंसर दीजिए और आप अपने सपोर्ट में जो भी कहना चाहें काइंडली लेट मी नो. Can I take the full ITC, partial ITC, no ITC? Give me the reason. So the reason, okay, very nice. All the participant, Navneet, Linga, Bala Murugan, Nikhil Kumar, Navneet, everyone. So because what is important? Important is no legal obligation. No legal obligation to provide to its employee by the employer. Because it is not a legal obligation, statutory legal binding agar hogi, then ITC would be available, otherwise not. So can I say the ITC will not be available for third one? Next, purchase of goods from home trader, all goods and invoices were received by the company in August 24, but one invoice out of these invoices have not been furnished by the supplier in the statement of outward supply using IFF. The GST paid on that invoice is 50,000, 2 lakh. How much ITC would be available? Entire 2 lakh, only 50,000, 1 lakh 50,000, or nothing? Give me the reason, and reason is important. Furnishing of invoice is mandatory. Oh, can you link with some provision? Can you link with some provision? Can you please link with some provisions? Just let me see the answer of all. Okay. Okay. So Navneet, you have given the reasoning also. Tanu, you have given the reasoning also. Linga, you have given. What about Nikhil? Nikhil, Bala Murugan. The rest of the participant, please give the answer and along with reason. Miss Mandal, Miss Tiyasumi, not receiving any reply today. Everything is okay. Kindly participate. Kindly participate. ठीक है. See, you are not eligible to take the ITC. That is okay. No problem. Your conclusion is correct. Now I am saying that if it is not furnished by the supplier in IFF, then what is the problem? The problem is the supplier should file in GSTR1, 1A or IFF. Will this sufficient? Please write also, and it has to be communicated to the recipient in GSTR2B. It has to be communicated in the GSTR2B. Then only ITC would be available, because he has not furnished. So what could be the reasoning that you should give? Because the supplier has not filed the IFF or not added the details in the IFF, therefore the such invoice will not appear in the GSTR2B of recipient home server of Purvi Limited, and because it is not appearing in 2B, ITC will not be available. अगर मैं सिर्फ ये कहूं कि सप्लायर ने फाइल कर दिया, नहीं कर दिया, that is okay, but additionally you can see you can see that if it is not furnished, then you can give this type of the reasoning clear है. IFF में furnish नहीं किया, that is one part. Second, it has not been communicated to the recipient in the GSTR to be. This is the complete condition. अगर मैं कंप्लीट लैग की बात करूं, कंप्लीट बात कहूं, तो मैं क्या कहूंगा, सप्लायर ने फाइल नहीं किया, इसके कारण मुझे रिसिपिएंट को 2P में विजिबल नहीं होगा, एंड देयरफॉर द आईटीसी इज नॉट अवेलेबल. इज दैट क्लियर? नहीं 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 नहीं, लिंगा, सी, नो इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन जीएसटीआर टू बी, they will not say na. See, I got your point. I'm only saying that all other condition necessary for availing the ITC has been satisfied. तो यहां पर इसने क्वेश्चन मार्क दे दिया, तो when I will explain that condition not satisfied, then I will write the complete condition. See, when I refer the 16 subsection 2, then there is a specific clause 16 to clause AB, which talks about that ITC should be furnished by the supplier in R1. Invoice should be furnished by the supplier in R1 or R1A or IFF, and the same should be communicated to the recipient in 2B. So this is the complete condition that I'm saying. So थोड़ा सा refined version I can say. Next. So इसमें कितना ITC दिया फाइनली फिर आपने? 150. Purchase the raw material to manufacture the finished goods, and the such finished goods to be sold to the potential customer under buy one get one free. कितना ITC देंगे? 75,000. Entire 150 and nothing. Oh, why you will get the entire ITC? It is free. It is free. Don't make you have the different opinion by seeing the word free. Okay. Right answer by the Bala Murugan. Right answer by the Navneet. Okay. Okay. Let's discuss this point. We will discuss. Nikhil, correct answer. Nikhil has given the correct answer. Let me see the other answer also. Miss Mandal, absolutely correct answer. No problem. There is one answer which creating the problem to me. Very, very true. Very true. Miss Tanu has given the correct answer. क्या buy one get one free is the free? Whether buy one get one is the free item, you have to clarify the things. Buy one get, see, the answer is full ITC is eligible. So someone has given the answer that because it is free, so ITC is not available. That is not correct answer. I will not use the name. But जिन्होंने भी बच्चे ने आंसर दिया ना, वो आंसर करेक्ट नहीं है to that extent कि ITC नहीं मिलेगा. What is the correct answer? Correct answer is that full ITC would be available. Now, what could be the reasoning? What could be the reasoning? Reasoning में क्या कहूंगा? Buy one get one offer. It is not a supply of an individual item. It is not a supply of an individual item. It is the supply of two or more goods at a therefore, it could be the composite supply, it could be the mixed supply, and therefore the ITC would be available because it is not a free supply of an individual item. Okay. So ITC would be available. Can I say the entire 1,50,000? G. Entire 150 is available. तो कितना available हो गया? Total करना 150, 150, 3 lakhs. That's it. Total ITC available is 3 lakh. ठीक है. Any other things which I need to do? No. No. ठीक है बेटा. Now let's move further. Able to see my screen? Question number 2. Weir Trading Private Limited. Able to see my screen? Weir Trading Private Limited. एक बार स्टार्ट कीजिए, रीड कीजिए, देन विल रीड टुगेदर ऑल्सो. Now this point is important. हाँ, डिस्कस कर लिया ना एक बार, अभी तो स्टार्ट करा क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो यहाँ पे है क्या कैपिटल गुड्स? ठीक है नवनीत, एक बार काम करना, आप अपना क्वेश्चन है ना यहाँ पे लिख देना. अगर कोई उससे रिलेटेड पार्ट आएगा तो मैं वहां पे एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा. नहीं तो मैं आपको अनम्यूट करके फिर मैं क्वेश्चन डिस्कस कर लूंगा आपके साथ. बट बेटर एक बार आप राइट तो कर दो, एक बार आप लिख तो दो चैट में, सो दैट अगर रिलेवेंट पार्ट आएगा तो आई विल डिस्कस विद दैट पार्ट इटसेल्फ, और अदरवाइज आई विल टेक सेपरेटली. So my request would be, please give the query in the chat. So fine, just share a review, just read. You are not required to see, or you are not required to give the answer as of now. एक बार आप खाली फटाफट रीडिंग कर लीजिए, and then we will start one by one. We'll give the answer. जब आपका ये सीरियल नंबर 2 एंड सीरियल नंबर 3 कंप्लीट हो जाए तो मुझे बता देना. ठीक है, ठीक है नवनीत, समझ गया क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट, you read this fourth number and then we will start one by one. ठीक है. They are saying assume that it is an intrastate supply. Point number one. ठीक है. Compute the amount of the ITC available to VTC VTPL. ठीक है. For the month of Feb. ठीक है. Now let's read. The wheel trading is registered in Rajasthan. It is engaged in the wholesale trading of the various sports items, and wheel trading furnish the information for the month of Feb. As per the company policy, MD of the company has taken the membership of the local sports club on behalf of the company. The company paid the fees. Monthly applicable rate is 6% each under C and S. Amount excluding ITC. हमें करना क्या है? Assume all interested. We need to compute the amount of the ITC available. Will the ITC be available on this item? If yes, then give me the reasoning. No, then give me the reasoning. Okay. Okay. So I have received the two answer. Bala Murugan correct answer and Naveen correct answer. Linga correct answer. Third answer I have received. Bilkul. And can you add the reason? So the answer is correct, Tanu. Can you please add the reason? Correct. Correct. Barna Mandal has given the correct answer. क्या आंसर होगा आपका? रीजनिंग क्या होगा? द रीजनिंग वुड बी बिकॉज इट इज नॉट ऑब्लिगेटरी, it is not obligatory on the employer to provide to its employee. If it is a legal obligation, then only the ITC would be available, and because it is not obligated, therefore ITC would not be available. Correct? Let's move to the second part. The purchase equipment on X work basis contract on 26 Feb. As per the terms of the contract, the goods to be delivered by OEM to the transporter on behalf of the recipient at supplier place. OEM hand over the equipment to the transporter on this date, but the equipment were physically received on this date. Tell me whether ITC would be available in the Feb or ITC would be available in the March. So Bala Murugan has given the first answer, which is correct in my understanding. Let me see the answer of other participant also. Okay, fine, no problem. So Nikhil Linga is saying that ITC would not be available in the Feb, and you have given some reasoning because. Okay, correct. So Tanu agreed. What is the importance of this word? What is the importance of this word? And it is very important. किसने लिखा invoice date in March? Say Navneet, if someone not a work contract, how you are saying? He is saying the purchase equipment. He has purchased the goods and he has sold the goods on 26 Feb. How it can be in the March? How it can be in the March? Okay. So what is the importance of this word? Because this word says, because this word say, X work का मतलब क्या होता है? Everyone, can you please explain the meaning of X work? X work का मतलब क्या होता है? Okay, okay. X work का मतलब क्या? Then how you can give the correct answer? I'm asking to one participant. Your answer is correct. ठीक है. But if you do not know the meaning of X work, then how your answer is correct? See, this is factory, and let's say this is the customer. When the supplier remove the goods from the factory, risk and reward, ownership is being transferred to the customer at this location only. So customer is receiving the goods physically on the 5th of March, but it will be construed that it will be deemed that he has received the goods on the day when the goods were removed from the factory. X वर्क में क्या होता है? X वर्क में कस्टमर अपना ट्रांसपोर्टर भेजता है, बिकॉज X वर्क मतलब क्या हुआ? What is the meaning of X work? It means absolutely Kuldeep, supplier is responsible till the factory gate only. Once the goods will be moved out from factory gate, he will not be responsible. So in that case, what will happen? When the goods will be removed from the factory gate, then the ownership, etc., everything would be vested with the recipient. It is X work, correct? And what is the opposite of X work? What is the opposite of X work? What is the opposite of X work? तो X वर्क में क्या होगा? X वर्क में ये वाली डेट विल बी डीम्ड टू बी receiving date, date of the goods or services, date of receipt. So in this example, if the goods were moved, if the goods were removed on 26th Feb, equipment has been handed over on 28th Feb. It means this will be the date of receipt of goods or services, and this would be available for ITC in the Feb itself. So what is the rate? 6%. At the end, you need to calculate how much is the CGST and how much is the SGST. Let me discuss. For the time being, we are discussing the question only. And what is the opposite to X work? It is CIF. It is CIF. Cost, insurance, and freight, everything is included. In this case, supplier is responsible to deliver the goods at the customer premises. मतलब यहां पर सप्लायर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो कस्टमर की प्रेमाइजेस तक उसको डिलीवर करेगा. And in that case, what will happen? In that case, the ITC would be available in the March or ITC would be available in the Feb if the contract is of CIF basis. क्या बोलेंगे आप? ITC मार्च में मिलेगा कि ITC Feb में मिलेगा? The answer is March. In case of CIF, it is in March. Very nice. Now, on the fifth year of its incorporation, the company arranged an event from Daksh Event. Daksh Event Company charges single price for the event rupees 2,50,000, which is inclusive of the food charges 40,000 as per the trend followed in the industry. Rate of the GST is 9% for event and 14% for food. Tell me, how much ITC would be available? Correct, Navneet. X work and CIF are opposite terms and play the important role in terms of eligibility of ITC. See, as of now, I am not concluding CIF completely till the time there will be because we need, whenever we are answering the question, we need to see the other factor also. Bala, can you please see that it is for customer meet? Will it not be in the course or furtherance of business? अगर मैं customer की meeting के लिए, if I am doing organizing an event, it is not in the course or furtherance of business. Okay, no problem. अगर ये miss हो गया तो कोई issue नहीं, customer meet है. Then what would be your answer? And will you give the full ITC? Will you give the full ITC or you will not give the ITC on 40,000? Okay. So Tanu, ITC is available on 250 or 210? Okay. So most of the participants are saying 210. ठीक है. Now I'm just asking the question. You need to rethink again. Will this word have any importance? Will this word have any importance? And if yes, then what is the importance? ग्रीन कलर से फुल आईटीसी क्यों लिखा है? कहाँ लिखा फुल आईटीसी मैंने? लिंगा, वेयर आई हैव रिटन? अभी हट गया। ओके ओके ओके, वो मैंने सी 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 आई वाज मेंशनिंग हियर ओनली कि यहाँ पे फुल आईटीसी मिल जाए। सी प्रोबेबली आई हैव मेंशन्ड हियर, मैं बता रहा हूँ। सो प्रोबेबली आई मेंशन एंड व्हेन आई स्क्रॉल अप तो वो जो ऊपर लिखा था वो नीचे आ गया। दैट वाज द ओनली रीजन। हाँ, नाउ तनु हैज गिवन द करेक्ट आंसर। फूड का अलाउड होगा या नहीं होगा, इट्स नॉट एन ऑब्लिगेशन। सो वेर इट इज रिटन नवनीत, ये कहां लिखा है? इट इज नॉट रिटन। सो इट मीन्स, is it to the employee, whether customer or employee of the organization? Whether customer or employee of the organization? No, it is not an employee. So the question of employer-employee relate. So if it is not an employee, so whether it is obligatory for an employer to provide to its employee, do we need to see this? Whether it is an obligatory to provide to the employee, do we need to see? Answer is no. We are not required to see. So if I am saying that it is a general trend, what does it means? जनरल ट्रेंड व्हाट इज? अच्छा, एक बात बताइए मुझे, दक्ष इवेंट कंपनी चार्जिंग सिंगल प्राइस फॉर द इवेंट एज 250 inclusive of the food, and this is the common practice adopted in the industry. Can't we say by the word general trend, can't we say it is naturally bundled? Can't we say it is naturally bundled? See here, there are two or more supplies. One is event, one is food, but being clubbed, and it is general trend. Therefore, I can say clubbing is the naturally bundle. Clubbing in the naturally bundle. So, clubbing is the naturally bundled. Clubbing is the naturally bundled, correct? And therefore, it becomes the composite supply. And the principal supply is event or principal supply is food. अगर मैं क्वांटिफिकेशन भी देखूं तो मेजर थिंग इज इवेंट. What is the rate of the GST on the event? 9%. So we will charge the GST accordingly. Now tell me one thing. Single price, is it a condition of mixed supply or is it a condition of composite supply? The price should be single. Now मैं create करूंगा doubt और फिर उसको clarify करूंगा. The price should be single. Is it a condition of mixed supply or is it a condition of composite supply? मेरा प्राइस सिंगल ही होना चाहिए, ये बात कहां लिखी गई है, कंपोजिट में या मिक्स में? Let me see the answer of others and then we'll conclude. Most of the participants are saying composite. No, it is not correct. If you see, it is written in the mix supply. कहां लिखा हुआ mix supply में? This is correct. It is written in the mix supply that price should be the single. Will your answer still be a composite supply or will your answer be changed and now you will say it is a mixed supply? Will your answer be remain composite or will you say it is a mixed supply now because the price is single? आंसर दीजिए, जस्ट गिव मी द आंसर, because I'm just highlighting the point where you can do the mistake. So it means, Linga, can I say that it is a mixed supply, and in the mixed supply the GST chargeable at which rate? GST किस rate पे charge होगा? Highest. So can I say this 250 would be levy the GST of 14 CGST, 14 SGST? नवनीत, फूड में आईटीसी ब्लॉक है, ये बात तब होती, जस्ट अलाउ मी 1 मिनट है, फूड में आईटीसी ब्लॉक है, this would be only if, this would be only if it is a individual supply. For example, I am the hotel, I am raising the invoice of 2,10,000 for event, and I am raising another bill of food charges 40,000. In that case, you will not allow the ITC of the 40,000. But मेरे क्वेश्चन में क्या था, सिंगल इनवॉइस था, इनवॉइस सिंगल हो या नहीं हो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बट मैंने जो आपको दिया है दैट वाज ए सप्लाई इंक्लूसिव ऑफ द फूड, एंड इट इज ए कॉमन प्रैक्टिस, एंड देयरफॉर इट बिकम द कंपोजिट सप्लाई, इट इज नेचुरली बंडल्ड. कंपोजिट मिक्स सप्लाई में आईटीसी मिलेगा, ब्लॉक आईटीसी में? सी, कंपोजिट मिक्स सप्लाई में आईटीसी मिलेगा, वी नीड टू सी द प्रिंसिपल सप्लाई. नाउ द आंसर, नाउ लेट मी कंक्लूड द आंसर. The condition that price should be single, it is the condition in the mixed supply. But there is no condition associated with the composite supply. What does it mean? It means here the price can be single or price can be separate. There is no problem. मतलब अगर सिंगल प्राइस है तो क्या वो कंपोजिट हो सकता है? आंसर इज यस. क्यों? क्योंकि प्राइस सिंगल होना चाहिए, मिक्स की कंडीशन है. कंपोजिट में कोई कंडीशन नहीं है, मीनिंग देयर बाई द प्राइस कैन बी सिंगल or it can be separate. No problem. Only point we need to see that it should be the general trend. So it means it is naturally bundled. And if it is naturally bundled, it will always be the composite supply. It will never be the mixed supply. And composite supply में tax की rate क्या लगती है? The tax rate which is applicable on the principal. Event के साथ food दे रहा हूं. What is the principal supply? Event के साथ food दे रहे हैं. What is the principal supply? Tell me. The principal supply is event, and therefore it is chargeable to 9%. Therefore it is chargeable to 9%. ठीक है. Last C and then give me the reasoning. Must, very important point. Just give me the answer. No ITC on depreciated goods. ITC is available on 1190. Okay. My God. Just please, everyone, requesting everyone to give me the answer. Requesting everyone to give me the answer because there is a lot of doubt. I feel that based on your answer, it appears that there is a lot of doubt. I Miss Mandal, whether there would be any depreciation not claim. Okay. Balamurugan, the point is correct. You are going to the correct section, but what would be your conclusion answer? You are going to the correct provisions. There is no doubt. ITC will be available, not available. Okay. My God. Let me explain to you. All, please, let me explain to all of you. See, in the GST, there is a provision which talks about ITC on depreciable item. First, can I claim the ITC on capital goods? First question. Can I claim the ITC on the capital goods or no ITC on the capital goods? Normally, can I claim the ITC on the capital goods? Answer is yes. Can I claim the ITC on the capital goods if I have taken the depreciation on taxable value? The doubt. It means depreciation or ITC. You will not give both at the same time. Depreciation and ITC, you will not give both at the same time. Fine. Now, let me explain you the point and allowed or not allowed. There is one situation wherein the depreciation and ITC both are allowed. And what is not allowed, that I will explain. Let me explain. So, if I have just rounding it off for the purpose of easy calculation, if I have purchased the truck of rupees 10 lakh and the GST is 18%, how much would be the GST on this? How much would be the GST and what is the total value which I will pay to the supplier of the truck? Everyone is clear about this calculation or किसी को doubt है? Anyone has any doubt? Anyone has any doubt or is it clear? Is there anyone have any doubt or is it clear? किसी को कोई डाउट है, क्लियर है? Now, Suppose forgot about the GST. Forget about the GST for the damming. Can I claim the depreciation on 10 lakh or can I claim the depreciation on 80 lakhs? क्या मैं डेप्रिसिएशन 10 पे कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूँ या 11? में डेप्रिसिएशन किस पे कैलकुलेट करूंगा? Will I calculate the depreciation on 10 or will I calculate the depreciation on 1180? Will I calculate the depreciation on 10 or will I calculate the depreciation on 1180? The answer is it's my choice. My choice. It means I can go for 10 and 1180. It means it is my choice. Now in the GST, see, I don't know the too much about income tax, so not going into that argument, or I do not know the too much provision. But if I will say, you are claiming the depreciation on 10 lakh, and I may also say I am claiming the depreciation on 1180. In this case, if I am claiming the depreciation on taxable value, it means, can I say that I have not taken the depreciation on GST portion? Can I say that I have not taken the depreciation on the GST portion? Can I say I have not taken the depreciation on the GST portion? Answer is yes, you can say. In that case, you can take the ITC of GST portion. And second, if I'm saying claiming the depreciation on 1180 means I have taken the depreciation on GST portion also. Can I say that I have taken the depreciation on the GST portion also? Can I say कि मैंने यहाँ पर depreciation claim किया in GST portion also? Because there is only one thing is allowed. या तो GST portion पर आप depreciation claim कर लो या GST portion का आप ITC ले लो. In that case, ITC of the GST is not allowed. Is that clear? Everyone is clear? Everyone is clear? So this statement is incorrect. Depreciation and ITC both can be or cannot be. It depend upon which part. It depend upon which part. It depend upon the part that you have claimed the depreciation on taxable value or total invoice value. Correct? So now read and tell me that will I be able to take ITC on fourth item or not? So what would be your answer? Now what would be your answer? Will you give the ITC or will you not give the ITC? He can take the ITC on 14 lakhs, right? He can take the ITC on 14 lakhs. अब मुझे बताइए टोटल एक बार क्विकली प्लीज डू, इट विल हेल्प यू. मुझे आप बता दीजिए कितना सीजीएसटी का आईटीसी है. हाउ मच आईटीसी इज अवेलेबल अंडर द सीजीएसटी. My point is how much ITC is available under CGST. You calculate and tell me. And just wait for 2 minutes. Quickly calculate करके मुझे बता दीजिए how much is the ITC. How much is the ITC of CGST? Because C और S दोनों सेम रहेगा. बस मुझे खाली बता दीजिए CGST का ITC कितना है. So that I can just ensure that everything is clear to you. And one participant were counting 1290, 1190 something. ये 14 लाख में से 210 माइनस तो नहीं करना ना. It is depreciation on asset. For the purpose of how much is the GST? Will I apply rate 14% on 14 lakh or 14% on 1190? कितना आईटीसी होगा? यू टेल मी. 14 लाख का 14% आईटीसी होगा या 14 लाख minus 210 and then I will multiply with 14%. ठीक है, आप एक बार कैलकुलेट कीजिए. What, how much is the ITC? So I've just copied on Excel sheet and you can tell me. So ITC is available or not available of this item? Will the ITC be available? Local sports club or not available? ITC available or not available? Not available. So I am not required to calculate here. Nil, nil. Now tell me, it was X work and in Fab it will eligible to claim the ITC. Can I say that 1 lakh into 6% CGST and 6% SGST? He was available in the Fab now. In this point, he was available to claim the ITC in the Fab. He was eligible to claim the ITC in the Fab. He was eligible to claim the ITC in the Fab, right now. So I have calculated. How much amount will come in the third number item? How much amount of that ITC will come in third item? Quickly tell and calculate. Quickly tell and calculate. हाँ नवनीत, एक मिनट क्वेश्चन खत्म कर लें, उसके बाद एक बार कंप्लीट कर लें क्वेश्चन. 2 आइटम बचे हुए, उसके बाद मैं आपको अनम्यूट कर दूंगा. ठीक है. Why 14%? Why 14%? Why you are calculating 14%? See, we have talked about it is a principal supply is event and event ka tax is 9% CGST. Event ka tax is 9% CGST, right? So it will be taxable at, it will not be taxable at 14%. नो प्रॉब्लम। नाउ लास्ट, इसका मुझे आप कैलकुलेट करके बताइए कितना सीजीएसटी, हाउ मच इज द सीजीएसटी, हाउ मच इज द सीजीएसटी, प्लीज टेल मी। ओ माय गॉड, कुलदीप, डू आई नीड टू एक्सप्लेन अगेन? सी, if depreciation or ITC both, depreciation or ITC both allowed, yes, allowed. In where? Check the depreciation has been claimed on the taxable value, you can take the ITC. If the depreciation has been claimed on the total value, you cannot take the ITC. In this question, he has purchased the truck and claimed the depreciation on which portion, which amount? He has claimed the depreciation on 14 lakh. And this 14 lakh is including GST or excluding GST? That has been clarified in the heading itself. This amount is excluding GST. So meaning thereby in this case, he is claiming the depreciation only be allowed to claim the ITC. What was the GST? 196, 196. Is this clear? ठीक है, everyone is clear? No doubt, no doubt. ठीक है, लेट्स टेक ए ब्रेक ऑफ 10 मिनट, लेट्स टेक ए ब्रेक ऑफ 10 मिनट एंड नवनीत उसके बाद में हम ब्रेक जब स्टार्ट होगा ना 10 मिनट दीजिए, ब्रेक कर लेते हैं, ब्रेक के बाद में जब तो पहले मैं आपसे स्टार्ट करूंगा। फाइन। हाँ नवनीत बताएं, जस्ट टेल मी।
Yes, sir. So actually, it's not like a doubt. I have जैसे मुझे लगा कि when the taxpayer is claiming GST on only on the cost basis like 14 lakh, so it will be 2 lakh 10,000 depreciation, and for this he can also claim GST portion ITC of 3 lakh 92,000. Okay. So he can avail the both benefits. Like he can also claim the depreciation of 2 lakh 10,000, also claim ITC of 392,000.
करेक्ट।
But on the other hand, if he claims depreciation on both part like GST and cost, so it only 2 lakh 68,800, which I have calculated. So the main question is that कि अगर जो so it is beneficial ना that he only claims 40 lakh depreciation and ITC on both part. So it will be like 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 2,000, मतलब 6 लाख क्लेम कर सकता है वो, अगर जो डेप्रिसिएशन ले लेगा तो कोई फायदा नहीं होगा उसको।
व्हाट इज
तो
योर क्वेश्चन?
सर क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि मतलब बेनिफिशियल क्या रहेगा उसको देने के लिए।
वो एक अलग पर्पज है उसका। सपोज अगर मोटर कार खरीदी, तो मोटर कार पे तो आईटीसी मिलता ही नहीं है, देन व्हाट ही विल डू, ही विल टेक द आईटीसी ऑन द टोटल वैल्यू इंस्टेड ऑफ द
यस।
टैक्सेबल वैल्यू।
यस सर।
तो मान लो कि जैसे सपोज कर मैं एक ऐसा आई एम इनटू द रेस्टोरेंट लेट से, ठीक है, आई एम चार्जिंग द जीएसटी एट द रेट ऑफ 5% एंड आई एम नॉट एलिजिबल टू क्लेम एनी आईटीसी।
यस सर।
So in that case, I will try to claim the depreciation on the total value because I am not entitled to claim the ITC at all.
यस सर।
तो अलग अलग पॉइंट पर वो डिसीजन डिपेंड अपॉन दैट ओनली।
यस सर।
अगर मुझे आईटीसी मिलेगा तो जैसा आपने कहा कि हमेशा वही एडवांटेज रहेगा कि मैं पूरे जीएसटी पार्ट का आईटीसी क्लेम करूं और टैक्स पोर्शन का और टैक्सेबल वैल्यू के ऊपर डेप्रिसिएशन क्लेम करूं।
यस सर।
दिस वुड बी द मतलब मेन एडवांटेज।
बेस्ट बेस्ट ऑप्शन एडवांटेज यही सर, मैं एडवांटेज देख रहा था उसका ना कि मतलब अगर जो जीएसटी पोर्शन में भी डेप क्लेम करता है तो ये बेनिफिशियल नहीं रहेगा।
ठीक है, बट एग्जाम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हमें मतलब नहीं है, हमें तो जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन दी अकॉर्डिंगली वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट। ठीक
यस
है,
सर। यस। यस थैंक यू।
चलिए लेट्स मूव क्विकली, वी विल सॉल्व इन 10 मिनट, वी विल नॉट स्पेंड मोर देन दैट। ठीक है ना। Mascot Motor Private Limited, dealer of the motor vehicle, registered in Udaipur, Rajasthan, has given X work contract to Ganesh Trader, registered in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, for manufacturing 10 unit of pickup van. Messrs. Ganesh Trader manufactured the van and handed over to the transporter on behalf of MMPL on 29th April, and delivery on its part is complete at the factory gate in Ahmedabad. It raised the invoice for all 10 pickup van on the same day, मतलब 29th April को. MMPL has recorded the invoice in its book on the same day. Price of the van was 10 lakh each excluding GST. However, the van were physically received by MMPL at its warehouse on 2nd May. Payment is also being made on the same day after the payment. So now, first you tell me, will you give the ITC in April or will you give the ITC in May? Will you give the ITC in April or will you give the ITC in May? Will the ITC be available in the April or will the ITC, same question in the previous, absolutely correct, Balamugan. Absolutely correct. And Tanu, you are also correct. The answer is, it is X work. So when the goods were removed out from the factory and handed over to the transporter, it will be treated that goods has been received by the recipient. ठीक है, डीमिंग recipient मतलब deemed, अगर आप if you refer the condition of 16 to B, you will find the explanation, correct? If the goods are being handed over, received by the agent on behalf of the, like that. So it will be received when the supplier has handed over to the transporter on 29th April. So therefore he can claim the ITC. How much will be the ITC part? Can you just tell me? कितना ITC amount होगा? Amount कैन यू कैलकुलेट द अमाउंट? कितना अमाउंट है आईटीसी का? एज्यूम इट इज आईजीएसटी और सीजीएसटी एसजीएसटी जो भी है, मतलब आप देखिए क्वेश्चन एंड देन गिव मी द आंसर वेदर इट इज आईजीएसटी, वेदर इट इज सी प्लस एस, व्हाट. Which tax and amount? Which tax and amount? Which tax and what is the amount? Which tax and what is the amount? Will it be CGST, SGST, IGST? क्या टैक्स होगा और अमाउंट क्या होगा? Correct. So it would be 18 lakh na. हाँ, IGST, it will be IGST. And what would be the amount? 10 lakh into 10 when 1 crore into 18%, 18 lakh will be the amount. Correct. And next part, after the payment, two vans got damaged in fire in first week of May, and therefore they were write off the same in the books of accounts. क्या करना है इसका? What we need to do? The goods, the ITC which has been the ITC, इस portion का क्या करना है हमें? What we need to do? ITC reversal. Can you tell me the amount of ITC reversal? Can you tell me the amount of ITC reversal? Quickly tell me the amount. You have calculated 18 lakh. Quickly tell me the amount of the ITC which need to be reversed. Quickly tell me the amount of the ITC which need to be reversed. Answer is 10 लाख की एक कार है, पेन है, दो कार है, तो 20 lakhs का 18%, 3.6 lakhs. Correct. Let's move further. I have added one question which normally not being asked in the exam. Now you may ask why I have added. So why I have added? Explain the revaluation again. अच्छा, amount में वापस explain करूं. Let me go back. Here, total ITC which he can claim 10 lakh, 10 lakh is one car into 10 when multiplied by 18%. So it will come 18 lakh. Is it clear, Tanu? Is it clear? This part is clear ना? हाँ, मैं जब आता हूँ I'll explain. 10 लाख एक कार का, कितनी कार डैमेज हुई फायर में? दो कार इंटू 18%, so I can say 3.6 lakh. Is it okay? Done? ठीक है. Let's move further. See, please note one thing. And have you heard the word GST 2.0? Have you heard the word GST 2.0? क्या आपने GST 2.0 वर्ड सुना है? Have you heard the name of the GST 2.0? My God, very nice. You remember the date also. In September 2025, lot of tax rate has been reduced. Lot of item has So one example, insurance, individual insurance, which was taxable and now it become exempted. Have you heard this? कि इंश्योरेंस में जीएसटी नहीं लगेगा. Correct now. So assume that I have made the question based on that only, and it is not being asked in the earlier time, but for this time, I personally feel that it is important. Why? Because it has the implication. And Navneet, Navneet, you asked the question of 5%. Sorry, you have asked the question of 60 month or 5% per quarter. You remember? Navneet is not there in the class. Okay, no problem. GST rate is not applicable. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, no problem. The goods manufactured by the Raja has been exempted from GST with effect from 1st May 2025. What it is being written? Exempted. Earlier goods were liable to GST at the rate of 5%. Input used in the manufacturer were also liable to GST at the rate of 5%. And following information is provided on 30th April. Input costing 4,62,000 are lying in the stock. Now, what do you understand? What things which comes into your mind? I'm saying that goods were exempted on this date and earlier it was liable to 5%. What things which attract immediately in your mind? What will happen if the taxable item become exempted? Then आपके mind में immediately क्या आएगा? If the taxable item become exempted, then what will happen? No, 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 no. It is not composite supply. Absolutely correct. Section 18 will come into the picture and I need to reverse the ITC. Anyone has any question on this? See, Kuldeep, if I'm a regular taxpayer and I become composite taxpayer, then also your point is correct. I need to reverse the ITC. And second, if taxable item become exempted, then also I need to reverse the ITC. In this question, we will discuss about the reversal of ITC. In this question, we will discuss about the reversal of ITC. Base clear? Let me move further. Now, what I have told you, see, first part is important by this. Give me the theme of the question, that because taxable item become exempted, therefore, whatever ITC is lying in the credit ledger, I need to reverse ITC. What is the concept? If it is input and input service, if it is input and input service, I will reverse the ITC, whatever the ITC lying in that stock. But in the case of the capital goods, the concept of monthly reversal will come into the picture that we will discuss. तो अभी मुझे इस क्वेश्चन में करना क्या है? We need to calculate the reversal of ITC only. Now tell me, if I'm saying 4,62,000 is the inclusive of the GST, can you tell me how much is the GST is there? Tax ka rate is 5%. How much amount is there on account of the GST in the 4,62,000? कितना? क्या दिया मैंने? 5%. How much is the GST? 4,62,000. What you have done the calculation? What is the calculation that you have done to calculate the GST multiplied by how much divided by how much? Divided by 105 multiplied by 100 and then tax rate is 5%. Is everyone clear? कितना amount आएगा? Mr. Balamurugan, can you please confirm what is the amount which will come? So 22,000. Everyone is clear? 22,000. Whether everyone is clear? 22,000. Everyone is clear how this 22 is being calculated? Whether everyone is clear that how 22 is being calculated? किसी को कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लीजिए. If anyone has any doubt, kindly ask. Fine. Let's move further. If the input is 322, which is in process, so WIP 3,22,560. Calculate the amount of the GST involved in that. Calculate the amount of the GST involved in that. Calculate the amount of the GST involved in that. So all are saying correct. So almost I can say into, again same point, 100 divided by 105. This will be the taxable value and into 5%. How much amount you are saying? 15,360. How much amount you are calculating? 15,360. ठीक है. Third, finished goods valuing 30 lakhs in stock. Input cost is 70% of the value. So this is market value. They are saying costing is 70%. So what will be the costing? 30 ka 70 7 is 21 lakh would be the costing. Into, again inclusive of GST, that 100 divided by 105. And again, I will multiply with 5%. How much is the GST will come? See, the value, finished goods ka value is 30 lakhs. And it says that input cost is 70%. So what is the cost? I can say the 21 lakh. 21 lakh, correct? So 21 lakh is become my inclusive of tax amount. Okay. So I will divide by 105 multiplied by 100. Then I will calculate the tax. So this will be the 1 lakh. So this is 1 lakh. This is 15,360 and this is 22,000. ठीक है. Now try to understand this only. I hope you are writing. मैं एक बार रब करता हूँ, मिटा देता हूँ, so that I can explain. This part is important. ITC on the capital goods lying in the stock is 2,88,000. These goods were purchased on this date. Now there is mostly, you are remembering that 18 subsection 1 talks about ITC in case of the special circumstances. ITC in case of special circumstances. And 18 subsection 6 talks about when you are selling the capital goods, supplying the capital goods. 18 subsection 4 talks about reversal of ITC. So try to understand when I will apply the concept of 18.1, taking the ITC, exempted become taxable or composition to regular. In these two cases, 18.1 says that you can take the ITC. Then I will apply the concept of 5% per quarter. And when I'm talking about reversal of ITC, when I am talking about reversal of ITC, mostly I will follow the concept of 60 months. See, in totality, if you say 5% per quarter, 5 year कितना आएगा? 100%. And if you treat the life as 60 months, then also in both the cases, in totality, the value would remain same, but where it will change. Suppose you have used the asset as 4 month only. In that case, if you follow the concept of quarterly, it treats 5% per quarter, 5% per quarter or part thereof. Total 10% would be the ITC portion, ITC reversal or ITC claiming. But if you will treat 4 month as monthly, then in that case, what will happen? You will apply the concept of divide by 60 and then multiply by 4. So यहाँ पर difference हो जाएगा. So again, I'm just concluding. Whenever you are using the reversal of ITC in accordance with 18 subsection 4, 18(4) में reversal कब बनता है? दो situation में. If your taxable item become exempted, second, if you are registered under regular category, switch to the composition category. In these two cases, 18(4) will come into the picture, and then in that case, you need to calculate how much is the life. That will be 60 month. कितनी लाइफ है इस असेट की? Goods were purchased on 1 September and your item is become exempted on 1st May. So 30th April कितना महीना हो गया यहां से यहां तक? How much month is it has been? कितना महीना हो गया? Can you please calculate number of month? Can you please calculate number of month? 8 month. It means 2,88,000. 2,88,000. Now see, this 288 is the GST part itself. You are not required to divide by 105, multiplied by again 100, then 5%. No. The 288 is the GST part itself. Okay? So 2,88,000 divided by 60 month. Why 60? Because it is a life. What is the remaining life? What is the remaining life? I have used for 8 months. So I can say 52 months is the remaining life. Now tell me amount. This much of the ITC you need to reverse. Tell me the amount. 2,88,000 divided by 60 multiplied by 52. 52 कैसा है? 60 minus 8. 2,49,600. 2,49,600 you have calculated, correct? And then plus first वाले के लिए कितना था? 22,000. Second वाले के लिए कितना था? 15,360 and 1 lakh. Can you please make it total? Can you please make it total and tell me the how much is the ITC which I need to reverse? कितना ITC जो मुझे reverse करना है? How much is the ITC which I need to reverse? कितना ITC जो मुझे reverse करना है? Now, very interesting thing. You will let me open the 18 subsection 4. Give me 1 minute. Let me open the institute material. We'll find out one again. We'll find out and try to explain one very interesting thing. This is the 18.4 and I am reading this 18.4 only. Where any registered person who has availed the ITC opt to pay the tax under section 10, that is composition, or where the goods become exempted, he shall pay the amount by way of debit in credit ledger or cash ledger equivalent, kitna equivalent to the credit of input tax. In respect of input held in stock, we have calculated 22,000. Input contained in semi-finished goods, we have calculated 15,360. Or finished goods held in stock, we have calculated 1 lakh. And on capital goods, 2,88,000, reduced by such percentage point as may be prescribed on the immediately preceding the date of exercising the such option, as the case may be date of examinations. So how much amount you have calculated in this case? How much amount you have calculated in this case? कितना आया था टोटल, एक बार वापस बताएंगे? जस्ट टेल मी द टोटल अमाउंट. 52 month कैसे? निखिल सर, टोटल लाइफ इज 60 month, out of which I have used 8 month, so the remaining is 52 month, for which I need to reverse the ITC. Is that clear? Total amount is Kuldeep. I think someone is saying 3,86,960. 2-3 answer of 3,86,960. टोटल 4 का इसका टोटल कितना है? ये जो 22,000 था, ये 15,360 था, ये 1 लाख था, और ये 2 लाख समथिंग कुछ था. टोटल अमाउंट 3,86,960. He can use the ITC. He can use the amount from ITC, and the remaining ITC, if any, that will be lapsed. And remaining ITC, if any, that will be lapsed. Now it says that what would be your answer if the credit ledger balance is 3 lakh? 387 cannot happen. Okay. 387 cannot happen, is it? एक बार कैलकुलेट करें क्या वापस? Is there any confusion क्या? Let me calculate once again. Let me open the Excel sheet. Then we can calculate. So first is 4,62,000 divided by 105 into 5. So that is 22,000. So second is 3,22,560. So अमाउंट आया अपना 15,360. ठीक है. थर्ड का आया था 30 lakhs into 70%, 21 lakh divided by multiplied by 5 divided by 105. That was 1 lakh. Correct. And what was the third? 2,88,000, because this is the GST ITC itself, divided by 60 month multiplied by 52 month. So 3,86,960. No problem, no problem. That will possible. अच्छा हुआ कि हमने यहाँ calculate कर लिया. ठीक है. If I have the balance 4 lakh, so I can pay the same through debiting the electronic cash ledger, because my electronic cash ledger is 4 lakh. And if my electronic cash ledger is 3 lakh, then I can say the total amount which I need to pay 386, 3 lakh I can use credit ledger, and balance 86,960 I have to pay in cash. Is that clear? Is that clear? बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बन जाता है कंसीडरिंग द 2.0, considering the GST 2.0, where the multiple item. Why 3 lakhs? Question में दिया हुआ ना. Question is being given. They have given the second alternative. What would be your answer if the balance in the credit ledger is 3 lakhs only? Then I can say The total amount which I need to reverse is 386. If the 3 lakh is there, see, let me tell you why 3 lakhs. See, because of this word, see, credit of input tax equivalent to the, see, he can pay the equivalent to the credit of input tax and then shall pay the amount by way of the debit in the electronic credit ledger or cash ledger. In first example, ITC was 4 lakh. So I have the sufficient credit ledger. I will debit the entire amount through credit ledger. And the second portion where I have assumed 3 lakh, my reversal become 386. So I can say 3 lakh you can debit through credit ledger, balance amount you need to pay in cash. That is the reason I use the 3 lakhs. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. So, and the third portion I have calculated on this part. The after the payment of such amount, the balance of the input credit ledger, if lying in the credit ledger, shall lapse. So in this case, what I told you. So once you do the reversal of 386, will there be any ITC remaining in the credit ledger? Yes, sir. 13,040 would be the remaining balance of my electronic credit ledger. What I need to do, this will lapse. Is this clear? Is this clear to everyone? बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, याद रखिएगा. रिमेंबर, इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. It become very important considering the recent changes and by which lot of item has become exempted. Let's do next. And this is the big comparatively long question. Comparatively, I can say it is a long question. Okay, start करें. Galaxy Q, a registered person in Gujarat, engaged in the various line of business and following transactions were made for the Me 25. Let's do. Supplied the latest technology laptop with touch screen option to MD friend 60,000. Open market value to unknown customer was 90. Okay, so let me see the additional. All the amount given in the above are exclusive of tax. Okay. During the course of filing the invoices, the amount identified as invoice dated issued by the margin whose residential were taken all inward outward and are intrastate. Rate of the tax goods and services subject करना क्या है? I will require to calculate the net GST liability payable in cash for May 25. ठीक है. So now you need to calculate the total tax liability. So I will calculate in each and every. ठीक है. Tell me the rate of the GST is what? The rate of the GST क्या था? Rate of the GST was how much percentage? If it is goods, then 6, or if it is service, then 9. Okay, no problem. So it is goods. So rate of the tax will be 6%. Okay. And what will be the value of the goods? Well, what will be the value of the goods? Will it be 60,000 or will it be 90,000 in that case? Please tell me. Let me again go to the question and then ask. इस case में, what would be the value of the goods? Will you take the open market value or will you take the open market value or will you take the transaction value? One is saying 60, one is saying 90. What about the rest of the participants? Technology, MD friend, open market value is 90, but I'm selling at 60. अरे नवनीत आप नहीं थे यार. Navneet, are you there? So please watch the recording wherein I have explained the concept of 5% and 60 month. ठीक है ना. अब बीच में शायद थोड़ी देर नहीं थे क्योंकि मुझे मालूम था कि प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडी आने वाली है. So wherein I have explained that concept by using your name, wherein I have explained the concept of same by using your name, and you watch the recording. If it is not clear, let me ask. हाँ, ठीक है. So again, requesting all to give me the answer because the consideration is 60,000 because Peter Pable is the consideration 90, 60, 90 again. So when I will apply the concept of open market value, when I will apply the concept of open market value, when I will apply the concept of open market value, when it is related parties, when it is related parties, whether my MD का friend is my related party, friend, not family member, not controlling right. The answer is no. It is not my related person. And because it is not related party, therefore, the 60,000 would be the value for this transaction. Clear? Hai? How much will be the CGST? How much will be the SGST? I can simply say please confirm. Anyone have any doubt on this particular part? Please confirm. Everyone is clear? एक बार confirm कर दो. If not clear, have any doubt, kindly ask me again. I will clarify. No doubt clear. ठीक है. Perfect. Let me go to the second item. It says that supplied printed letter card to the MK Industries registered person. Logo design was supplied by the MK. Out of 5 lakh, material cost was 4 lakh and the balance was printing cost. So 5 lakh में 4 lakh मेरा material cost है और printing cost कितना है 1 लाख रुपए. And supplying the printed letter card to the MK Industries. Logo मुझे आपने दिया, you are MK and you have given the logo to me. What I have done, I have supplied the printed letter card along with printing. Now tell me, is it a supply of the goods, supply of the service, or I will apportion 4 lakh as a goods and 1 lakh as a service? The point which I like to ask to all that in this case, will I say 6% be applicable on 4 lakh, on 1 lakh, 9% would be applicable, or the entire would be treated as goods, or entire would be treated as service? Give me the answer. If you read the study material in detail, then there was a clarification circular was for the printing of the letter card, and wherein they are treated as supply of the goods is the predominant element. So it become the composite supply where the principal supply is supply of the goods. So entire supply become composite supply, entire supply become composite supply, and therefore 5 lakh would be chargeable to GST at the rate of 6%. The answer would be no, beta. No. Nikhil, it is not the supply of the two individual items separately. Try to understand this concept that they are making the supply the printed letter card in 5 lakh. So is it a supply of the two item? He is saying that let's say blank printed card 4 lakh rupees or mera printing charge is 1 lakh rupees. Will I raise the two separate invoice for this task? Answer is no. If I am, let's say, going to buy the printed letter card, then it is a single supply, right? It is a single supply. which might consist of 2-3 items, but it is a single supply. Because it is a single supply, in that case, it will be the composite supply or it will be the mixed supply depending upon the fact. Because I told you that there was a clarity given in this regard, it is a composite supply, principal supply is goods, entire combo would be treated and taxable as goods. Very, very important. Tell me what you would say for this point. इस point के regard में आप क्या कहोगे? What you will say to this for this point? Whether ECU would be taxable, whether supply would be taxable, whether RCM would be applicable. See, Galaxy Cube Private Limited is making the supply of which item? Omnibus. And through ECU. This is the total amount. Okay. The question is, who will pay the tax on this item? Who will pay the tax on this item? That is FCM, RCM, ECO, I don't know. No tax, I don't know. You have to tell me that who is liable to pay the tax in this case and why. Okay. Galaxy is not the ECO. Galaxy Q Private Limited is a supplier making the supply of the omnibus, and through ECO, let's say Ola is making the supply through Ola. So Galaxy is owning, let's say, owning that omnibus. Will the Galaxy be liable to pay the tax under forward charge? Will the ECO pay the tax because of the 9 subsection 5? Will the recipient of that omnibus will pay the tax under reverse charge? As of now, there is no correct answer. As of now, जितने भी आप लोगों ने आंसर दिया ना, none of the answer is correct. None of the answer is correct. Now you tell me, what is the correct answer? Bala Murugan, your answer is correct, but reasoning is not correct. Your answer is correct, but reasoning is not correct. Could you please rectify? Could you please try to add 1 or 2 more points? You know, do you know the concept of 9-5? Are you all aware that concept of 9-5 ECO? आप लोगों को मालूम है 9-5 ECO? What is the 9-5 ECO? So Tanu, you are correct, but the word RCM is not correct. So we know that ECO under section 9-5 for the notified category of the service age, the ECO will pay the tax as if he is a supplier. What are the category? First, like Ola Uber, passenger transportation service, hotel accommodation, urban company, small carpenting plumbing services, restaurant, Zomato, Swiggy. These all are the mediator e-commerce operator. Actual supplier is the dhaba wala, restaurant owner. Actual supplier is the car owner. Actual supplier is the hotel owner. Correct? So in that case, what will happen? In that case, the ECO would be liable to pay the tax as if they are supplier. So you please do not use the word RCM. यहाँ तक बात क्लियर है? Is it clear till now? I like to add one more point. पहले confirm कीजिए, is it clear till now? ठीक है? Now the point is, in this category of the services, there was an amendment. In this category of the services, there was an amendment in which it says that if you are supplying omnibus, if you are making the supply the omnibus and you are the company, then in that case, ECO will not pay the tax. In that case, ECO will not pay the tax. You need to pay the tax under forward charge. This was an amendment which I have incorporated in this question. So what would be the answer? Answer is very simple. You will simply multiply 1258 into 9%. Answer is very simple, but the concept is tough. So I can say that 12,58,000 is the value and 9% is the, ठीक है, 1,13,220. So this would be very simple, but the reasoning was very important. Is it clear to all? Is it clear to all? यहाँ पर important point क्या था? The important point was supply of the omnibus. You need to check who is the supplier. Limit private limited. It become body corporate. It become company. Company with omnibus supplied through ECO. It is not covered in the 95. Had it been 95, then the tax liability would be. Had it been 95, then tax liability would be 0. Your tax liability would be 0 because who will pay the tax? ECO will pay the tax. In this case, why the liability comes? Because the transaction is omnibus, supplies the private limited company, supplies the company combination. They have made one amendment that if the supplier is company making the omnibus through ECO, it will not be covered in the 95. Is that clear? Next, providing catering services to the Excel University of the Patna, which is recognized by UGC for granting recognized qualification. Now tell me, will it be taxable supply? Will it be exempt supply? Will it be forward charge? Will it be RCM? Who will pay the tax? Or there will be no tax? Abhi question, see, Navneet, currently we are calculating the liability. We are calculating the liability. So what would be the liability? Will they pay the tax or is it an exempt supply? Absolutely correct, Tanu. Because exemption is there only in case it is higher secondary or preschool or school something. Higher secondary up to the higher secondary. Because it is the education institute who is granting the recognized qualification. In that case, it is not up to higher secondary. Therefore, the exemption would not be available. Can you tell me, will it be CGST, SGST or IGST? Will it be CGST, SGST or IGST? Supplier in Gujarat and recipient is in Bihar. Can I say it is IGST? Can I say it is IGST? Very simple. What is the value? Catering is service, right? What is the value? Just tell me. 2,12,000. 2,12,000. ये वाला point clear है? Is this point clear to you? Is this point clear to you? ठीक है, ठीक है. Next is made supply the goods in the territorial water to the blue water registered in the state of Maharashtra. Such place of the territorial water as the distance of 5 nautical mile to the baseline of the coastal state of Gujarat and 7 nautical mile to the baseline of the coastal state of Maharashtra. Okay. So what would be the place of the supply? what would be the place of the supply in case of the supply is made in the territorial water? It will be the Gujarat, nearest point of the baseline. Nearest point of the baseline, right? Nearest point of the baseline. So answer would be Gujarat. Correct. Answer would be Gujarat, and Gujarat, it will be chargeable to which tax? CGST and SGST or IGST? Will it be CGST, SGST, or will it be IGST? It will be CGST and SGST. It will be CGST and SGST, right? And made supply of the goods in territorial water. Correct. Make supply of the goods in territorial water and goods के ऊपर tax कितना 6% है, value कितने 450. So I can say 4,50,000. 4,50,000, right? It is assuming it is the supply of the goods, and I have assumed CGST and SGST because nearest point of the baseline is located in coastal state of Gujarat. Okay. Last part, purchase the goods from Decant company registered. Is it an inward supply or is it an outward supply? Is it an inward supply or is it an outward supply? Purchase the goods from composition dealer. Is it an inward supply or is it an outward supply? Is it an inward supply or is it an outward supply? Correct. So I can say it is an inward supply. So let's write inward supply. So if I am purchasing the goods from composition dealer, then it is goods. Then can I say it is taxable at 6%? Can I say it is taxable at 6%? So he has purchased 3,35,000. So can I say that tax portion would be 6%? CGST 6%, SGST. ITC will like agreed. Can I say that tax will be 6%? Can I say that tax will be 6%? Just asking, not concluding. Can I say that tax will be 6%? So for the time being, they are saying in this case, the transaction is of purchase or is of sale? Transaction is purchase from composition dealer. Transaction is purchase from composition dealer. Can composition dealer charge the tax? क्या composition dealer can raise the invoice and collect the tax from customer? No. Therefore, the tax would be zero. Therefore, tax would be zero. No tax by composition dealer. Clear? He will pay 5%. That is okay. But currently we are calculating of Decant company or we are calculating for Galaxy. Are we calculating for Galaxy or are we calculating for Decant company? We are calculating for recipient. Absolutely correct, Navneet. We are calculating for Galaxy. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the next line item? During the course of filing invoices, the accountant identify an invoice dated 31st March 2025 issued by Mr. Mahajan, whose residential house was taken on rent for MD of the company for his residential use. What things which comes into your mind? इस पैरा को रीड करके what is the point which comes into your mind? Tell me. You read this para and tell me what is the meaning or what is the outcome of this para. Is there any impact on tax liability or ITC, or it is only Gyanbaji, nothing else? No. Correct. This part is correct, Nagaraja. what will be the impact on the tax? So is it an inward supply for Galaxy or is it an outward supply for Galaxy? Is it an inward supply or is it an outward supply? First tell me. Inward supply or outward supply? It is an inward supply. What is the nature of the supply? What is the nature of the supply? Renting of residential dwelling. Is there any tax liability on Galaxy? Because of this, is there any tax liability on the Galaxy? Think and tell me, if the residential house given to the MD of the company during the course of filing, accountant identify the invoice dated itna issued by Mr. Mahajan for MD of the company for his residential. Can I say that this invoice was issued to the organization Galaxy? Can I say the renting invoice has been raised to that company only? Can I say this? Obviously, yes, because we are talking about the accountant identify the invoice which was issued by the Mahajan. For what purpose? Residential dwelling for its employee. It will attract reverse charge. Remember and recall the RCM, if it is in residential dwelling given to the registered person, it is not exempted. It will be taxable under reverse charge. RCM would be applicable. MD is not employee. MD is not an employee. Nagarjun. See, whether it is an employee or not, doesn't matter. Director is also an employee. Director is also an employee. See, there was a clarification by the CBIC that regular director is an employee of the company. What is the meaning of no? मैं समझा नहीं नो का मतलब क्या हुआ? What is the meaning of no? ठीक है. So what is the conclusion? By this para, can we say that company need to pay the tax under RCM on 50,000? Can we say that company need to pay the tax under RCM on 50,000? Can we say that this company need to pay the tax under RCM on this 50,000? So company need to pay the tax. This now can we pay the RCM liability through can we pay the RCM liability through ITC? Only for cash ledger, only from cash ledger. Now this RCM liability here I'm writing to be paid in cash only. Okay. So now we have calculated the total liability. We have also calculated the total ITC. Okay. So this is the total liability. Now, is there any information of the cash credit ledger? Is there any information of ITC? So there is no information related to purchase of the goods, right? There is no information related to purchase of the goods from regular dealer. कुछ भी नहीं है ना इसमें. नहीं. So now you can write whether ITC would be available or not. So now you can write a note कि ITC is available, not available because it is personal. So you can treat anything. ITC is available or not available. You can write and give the answer. See, normally I can say if I am taking the if I'm taking the, let's say, renting of the residential dwelling for my director, you can also say that it is in the course or furtherance of business. Okay. And ITC would be available. And parallelly, you can also say okay, that ITC is not available because it is no connection with the business purpose. So accordingly, you have to give the assumption and then give the answer. Claim or not claim, it completely biased. Correct? So in this case, what, let's say, assume for the time being, let's assume that if you are saying that ITC is available, then liability to be paid in cash. Can I say that 173 is total ITC, total liability, and let's say he has the ITC to the 45. So this much of the amount he need to pay in cash, plus add the RCM liability. Can I say that this is the liability which you need to pay in cash? Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear? See, RCM ITC available, not available, depending upon your assumptions. So I am saying that because I can say that MD is related to my business and I have given the facility, so I can say that ITC would be available and it is in the course of furtherance of business. Parallelly, I can say that because it is a pure residential personal purpose, even though the company is incurring the expenditure, but ITC will not be available. So you can say accordingly, you can decide your answer based on your assumption. So let's say if I'm saying ITC not available, then they have to pay the amount in cash, this much of the amount in cash, 394. If I will say that ITC would be available, then I can say that they will pay 3,85,000 in cash. Is that clear? Fine. So एक क्वेश्चन और कर लेते हैं. Let's move one more question. Last question for the day, obviously. First read the question completely. ठीक है ना? Let me also calculate, right? So this time I will not switch and we'll discuss only. ठीक है? This time I will not switch to the Excel. It will take some time. Let me restrict myself. Let me restrict myself to the question only, and accordingly we will write. Now tell me, MLM Private Limited, registered person on Udaipur, various line of the business provided in the following detail. Outward supply of the goods made during the month to the various unrelated customer. It is an intrastate supply 5 lakh, transaction only 575. Now tell me, what will be the value? Will you pay the GST on 5 lakh or will you pay the GST on 5 lakh 75,000? आप जीएसटी पे किस पे करेंगे, 5 लाख पर या 5,75,000? Will you pay the GST on 5 lakh or will you pay the GST on 575? What is the rate of the GST they have assumed? The GST rate has been assumed on services 18% and on goods it is 5%. करना पड़ेगा अपने को. We need to calculate in Excel only ना. अदरवाइज इतना कैलकुलेट हो ही नहीं पाएगा अपने से. So considering the time, I'm using the Excel so that we can save the time in the calculations. We can save the time in the calculation, right? So I am saying that what will be the value? The value would be the market value, or value would be the will be the open market value, or the transaction value. Because it is an unrelated customer. Because it is an unrelated customer, so I can say the value. Excuse me. Tell me, beta, one thing. अगर मैं अनरिलेटेड पर्सन के साथ ट्रांजेक्शन कर रहा हूं, अगर मैं अनरिलेटेड पर्सन के साथ ट्रांजेक्शन कर रहा हूं, विल आई सी द मार्केट वैल्यू? क्या मैं वैल्यूएशन रूल अप्लाई करूंगा? विल आई अप्लाई द वैल्यूएशन रूल? विल आई अप्लाई द वैल्यूएशन रूल? See, rule 27, 28, 29, you will apply when either price is not the sole consideration, or when you are doing the transaction with related party. Unrelated, they have clarified the word unrelated. Why you will apply the valuation rule? Transaction value will be taxable value. Transaction value will be the taxable value, right? So in this case, what will happen? You can say that 5,75,000 is the taxable value, and the rate of the tax is 2.5%. यहाँ पर बात ठीक है. Point number 1 is clear. Let's move to the second point. Advance received. So again, let me see whether they are talking about intra-inter. Except otherwise stated. Otherwise, they will be treated as interstate. Perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. Now, let's talk about advance receipt from Mr. Gokul for business support service in the month of the March. What you will say? Will it be taxable under forward charge? Will it be taxable at the time of advance? Will it be taxable at RCM? No tax? क्या आंसर होगा आपका? What would be your answer? Second point, advance receipt from customer for business support service. Do I need to pay the GST on advance or not? Do I need to pay the GST on advance or not? Do I need to pay the GST on advance or not? क्या मुझे GST पे करना एडवांस के टाइम पर? Do I need to pay the GST on advance or not? Yes, because it is a service, I need to pay the GST on advance. What is the amount? 2 lakh. And what is the tax rate? Tax rate is given 18%. तो 9% मान लेता हूं. ठीक है. Third point, tell me the taxability. Tell me the taxability. Stock transfer without consideration. Tell me the taxability. Will it be taxable or not? Nagaraja, you are very near, but read the line once again. Read the line once again. There is one important thing is there, which will change your answer. Tanu has given the right answer. Tanu has given the right answer. It is branch transfer. Okay. It is branch transfer. Perfectly okay. So what you will say? Will it be taxable or will it not be taxable? Without consideration, that is okay. सब लोग कहाँ चले गए? Kindly give me the answer. बेटा आंसर तो दो यार. Just give me the answer. 3-4 participants are interacting with me, giving the answer. Will it be taxable or not? Will it be taxable or not? It is a branch transfer, yes. It is without consideration, yes. But are they having the different GSTN? Are they having the different GSTIN? No, same GSTN. So if you go to the schedule 1, which talks about supply of the goods or service between related person or between distinct person. Distinct person are they distinct person? If the GSTIN is the same, are they distinct person? If the GSTIN is same, are they distinct person? No. One PAN, multiple GSTIN. My God, very simple confusion. One PAN, but multiple GSTIN is called the distinct person. One PAN, one GSTIN. It is not the distinct person. It is not the distinct person. Because GSTIN is same, therefore they are not the distinct person, and therefore it is not taxable at all. This transaction will not be taxable at all. Same GSTIN, so not a distinct person, and hence not taxable. Same GSTIN, same person. Yes, yes, yes. They will be considered as same person. Not taxable. Very important push point. Commission services for multi-story residential complex. Exempted or taxable? Tell me. Exempted or taxable? This one. Commission services under pure labor contract. Pure labor contract. Pure labor contract. Will it be exempt? Will it be taxable? Multi-story residential complex. Will it change your answer? Multi-story residential complex. Multi-story residential complex. कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा आपके आंसर पर? मल्टी स्टोरी मतलब एक सिंगल हाउस नहीं है, एक आपका एक इंडिविजुअल हाउस नहीं है, मल्टीपल स्टोरी बिल्डिंग है, मल्टीपल फ्लोर्स है. Read that exemption. It is talking about single residential unit. Single residential. It is multi-story. Therefore, this transaction become taxable. Therefore, this transaction become taxable. क्लियर है? यहां तक क्लियर हो रहा है ना? इज इट क्लियर? हाँ, अगर ये सिंगल रेजिडेंशियल होता है, कुलदीप एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. Kuldeep, absolutely correct. If it is a single residential, then it is exempted. Because it is a multiplex, multi-story, then it is taxable. Warehousing for Rajma, red lentils, and other pulses. So warehousing services for the pulses. Warehousing services for the pulses. What would be your answer? Warehousing services for pulses. This time it is exempted. This time it is exempted. Absolutely correct. This time it is exempted. Absolutely correct. So now they are talking about inward supply. They are talking about inward supply. Now they are talking about inward supply. Correct. So एक बार कैलकुलेट करें कितना टोटल टैक्स बना इसके ऊपर. Please go and calculate one by one. Received the car rental services from Carmen Private Limited, an unregistered company in Udaipur, engaged in the car renting services. MLM Private Limited paid the rent on monthly basis. Cost of the fuel included in monthly rent. Will it be RC? Will it be forward charge? Will it be under RC? Will it be under forward charge? Will it be under RC? Will it be under forward charge? Silly mistake. Read the line carefully. RCM applicable होगा या नहीं होगा? Will the RCM be applicable or not? car rental services. Will the RCM be applicable or not? I am highlighting one important terms. I am highlighting one important term. Who told supplier is unregistered? And unregistered? हाँ, ठीक है. So what? Each and every category is important. If you recall that RCM in rent-a-cab services, supplier should be other than body corporate. Supplier should be other than body corporate. And who is the supplier? Body corporate का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of the body corporate? What is the meaning of the body corporate? Company, right? And क्या ये supplier जो है वो company है? Whether supplier is a company? क्या supplier company है? Answer is yes. So what is the condition for applicability of RCM? The supplier should be other than body corporate. Supplier should be other than body corporate. And यहाँ पर supplier कौन है? Body corporate है. Whether it is unregistered, doesn't matter. All the condition has to be satisfied because here the supplier is not other than body corporate. He is the body corporate. No RCM. No RCM. Clear हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है? Is it clear or not? Let's move further. Intrastate supply the various goods for use in the course. Again, explain karo. Correct. Let me explain. See, they are saying services is being provided by the company. Can I say the service provider who is unregistered, but he is a company? So we can say that the supplier is the body corporate. Nagaraja, can we say that the supplier is the body corporate? Correct. Huh? You check that RCM condition. If the supplier is the body corporate, no RCM. If supplier is the body corporate, renting of the motor vehicle will not fall under RCM category. So in this case, there will be no tax at all. There will be no tax. If the supplier is हाँ इनवर्ट सप्लाई, तो इस केस में तनु, इस केस में सप्लायर भी प्राइवेट लिमिटेड है. Okay, let me open that. Okay, I got it. Let me open that study material. चार्ज चीज एक बार बात कर लेता हूँ, 2 मिनट लगेगा. That's 15 number. Services provided by renting of motor vehicle. Satisfied? Yes. Designed to carry the passenger where cost to the fuel is included in the consideration. Whether the service category is same as given in the question. Whether the service category same is given in the question. Yes, same. Satisfied. Now recipient, any body corporate in the taxable territory. Who was the recipient in this case? Let me check again. Who was the recipient in this case? The recipient was again MLM Private Limited. So can I say the recipient was a body corporate? Can I say the recipient is also the body corporate? Can I say the recipient is the body corporate? ये वाला condition satisfied. ये वाला condition satisfied. One thing is clear now. For applicability of RCM, we need to satisfy all the 3 conditions. RCM तो तभी लगेगा ना जब मैं तीनों कैटेगरी satisfied करूं. RCM would be applicable only when nature of the service, category of the supplier, and category of the recipient, all 3 conditions are satisfied. Agreed? So this is satisfied. This is satisfied. Now what is written? Any person, but other than any person, matlab it include registered, it will include unregistered. So in this given case, supplier is unregistered, whether it will be covered, answer is covered. But what is the problem? Problem is other than body corporate. So concept, who is the supplier? Who should be the supplier? Supplier should be other than body corporate. In the given case, in the given case, who is the supplier? In the given case, who is the supplier? Supplier was also the private limited. So therefore, we can say it is a body corporate. It is a body corporate. So condition is talking about the supplier should be other than body corporate. Supplier should be other than body corporate. Whether this condition is satisfied. क्या ये satisfied हुआ? नहीं. This is satisfied. This is satisfied, but this is not satisfied, and hence conclusion is no RCM. Is that clear? Is that clear? If the supplier is Nagaraja, is it clear now? So because the supplier should be other than body corporate, here the supplier is body corporate, so no RCM. You can ask, unmute yourself and ask if you like to. If you like to, you can unmute and ask. Would you like to ask? Huh. If the supplier is other than body corporate, let's say it is a individuals, it is a partnership firm. In that case, I do agree. Then the company recipient will pay the tax under RCM. Is it clear? Shall I move? Fine. Thank you. No problem. Great. So at least we have the clarity. तो अच्छी बात है. So now you can say that intrastate supply the goods and services in the course or furtherance of business. 750 is the goods and 250 is the service. 750 is the goods, 250 is the service. अच्छा आपको दिख रहा है नहीं दिख रहा है? I think I have not shared that screen. यहाँ तक बात क्लियर है? Is it clear? So because it is goods and it is services, let me see that what was the goods? 7,50,000 goods, and what is the rate of the tax on the goods? 5%. So I am saying 750, 5%, and 2,50,000, 18%. 2,50,000, 18%. So any doubt? Do you have any doubt? Please let me know the chat. क्या कोई डाउट है आपके? Is it clear? ITC allowed. But I'm talking about it is an inward supply. But why you have written it is an outward supply? Kiski? You are talking about? Tanu, you are talking about which transaction? So I am saying that this is an inward supply, correct? And this is my outward supply. So for which you are talking about? No, it is clear. Okay, no problem. No problem. बहुत बढ़िया क्वेश्चन था, बहुत ही बढ़िया क्वेश्चन. Now the company paid 50,000 to Mr. Ajay sitting fees as independent director. What you will say? What you will say? RCM? All are clear now? See, independent sitting fees paid to the director will always be under RCM, right? Will always be under RCM. Sitting fees paid to the director will always be under RCM. Correct? So value is 50,000 and tax is 4,500, 4,500. ठीक है. Company will pay the tax under RCM. Correct. Now see and give me the answer. Company made the donation of 4,50,000 to the local old age home, a trust not registered in GST, for setting the water cooler old age home with the name of the company embedded on the water cooler to express their support for the good cause. क्या होगा इस 4,50,000 का? What will happen in this case? What would be the answer? क्या करना है इसका? What you will write? What you will write in this case? It is not a supply at all, so no GST. Absolutely correct. It is a donation with pure intention, good cause. तो एक कॉन्सेप्ट है, when you read the supply chapter ना, there is a concept of quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. When the name is printed in such a manner which just express gratitude, it is not an advertisement. See, question of ITC will not come at all, friend. Question of ITC तो तब आएगा ना जब इसके ऊपर टैक्स होगा. Nagaraja, the question of ITC will come when there will be tax. This is not the supply at all. This is not the supply at all, so no tax on that. So the question of ITC will not arise. आप एक और सप्लाई के चैप्टर में पढ़ लेना. Consideration is there, but it has to be in the course of furtherance of business na. So Nagaraja, to treat the transaction as supply, there are two conditions are there. Section 7. First is it should be in the course of furtherance of business, and there has to be the consideration. It is not in the course of furtherance of business. It is with good cause only. So there was a clarification, circular, and also it has been explained in the supply chapter, the concept of quid pro quo. So therefore it is not a supply at all. Fine. You can read the supply chapter and ask me if you have the doubt in the next class. Donation is not a supply at all. You can write in the working note, donation is not a supply. Not a supply. Okay. Any other things which I have left? So this is RCM is the liability also now. It is the ITC as well as the liability, right? What is the total value? Total tax liability other than RCM is this much. And there is an ITC. So how much amount they need to pay in cash? How much amount they need to pay in cash? Can I say this much of the amount they need to pay in cash other than RCM? And this is the RCM liability. So the total tax liability would be this much. Total tax liability would be this much. Clear है ना ये वाली बात? Is it clear? Any doubt in this regard? Please ask me. Nagaraja, see, I am a company. Okay. I am giving the donation to a charitable organization. Okay. So when I'm giving the donation to a charitable organization, and it is my good intention only to the support. So when I'm making the payment for good cause, then it is not the supply at all. It has been clarified in the supply chapter. So there's a concept of quid pro quo. So there is not a supply. Because it is not a supply, so question of tax will not come. And because tax will not come, so again ITC, etc., it will not come at all. Is that clear? It is pure donation, na? एक second, let me check again. See, they are setting the water cooler at old age home, correct, to support the good cause. So you are saying that because name has been embedded, so it is not a good, not a pure donation, is that? Because name is has been embedded, therefore it is not a good cause, is that mean? Do you mean that? That will be uploaded in the website, BOS portal, it will be uploaded. एक और बताओ नागराज, so that I can open that particular supply chapter also and explain this point. So this is supplies chapter institute material, page number 1919. ठीक है? When the name of the donor is displayed in the recipient institute premises in such a manner which can be set to an expression of gratitude and public recognition of the donor's activity of philanthropy and is not aimed at a publicity, then in such a manner it would be an advertising or promotion, then it can said be that it is not a supply. अगर नाम यूज किया जाता है इन द मैनर जस्ट गिविंग द रिकॉग्निशन, सो ICAI has given the donation to, let's say, old age home. Thank you to the ICAI for providing the coolers. Thank you to the Nagaraja for providing the water cooler. So in that case, whether Nagaraja is giving the advertisement, giving its advertisement for increasing the business, no, they are giving the name of Nagaraja or Nagaraja organization only to express the gratitude for the philanthropy work. And then in that case, it is not a supply at all. No supply the service for the payment in the form of the donation. In other words, there is no obligation, quid pro quo, on the part of the recipient. Therefore, there is no GST liability on such payment made. ठीक है ना? सो आप इसको देख लीजिएगा, एक डिटेल्ड सर्कुलर भी, ये वाला सर्कुलर था, दिस वाज द सर्कुलर इन व्हिच दिस स्टेटमेंट वाज रिटन, सर्कुलर 116 गिवन बाय द CBIC. इज दैट क्लियर? सो आज हमारा काफी हो गया. सो एनी अदर पॉइंट, अदरवाइज आई विल वाइंड अप द डिस्कशन. एनी अदर पॉइंट वुड यू लाइक टू डिस्कस? नहीं तो हमारा नेक्स्ट क्लास इस संडे को है. We will have the next class on Sunday. Thank you very much. Good night to all of you. Thank you very much. Good night to all. But in the calculation amount added. But नहीं, मैंने ऐड कहाँ किया? एक सेकंड रुकिए. Wait. So it is only total. It is only total. मैं see that was only just because donation का अमाउंट नहीं था सर, वो तो टोटल थी. That was only total formula. Total tax liability, total ITC, and net tax liability. It was the formula. I have not added the amount. क्लियर नागराजा? ठीक है. Thank you very much. Good night to all of you. Good night. Yes, sir. Thank you.